of children with cancer. Go back 50.
Roof? Don't ignore it another day. Call Creator Roofing Company. Creator Roofing has 25 years of roofing experience serving Philadelphia and Delaware counties. They do rubber and shingle roofs, roof coating, and siding. If you need a roof certification in order to sell your house, call Creator Roofing for an appointment and ask for Brandon at 267-333-1778. They have professional licensed and insured roofers. Call 267-333-1778.
Kenny Gamble, Philadelphia Community of Leaders, and the African Genesis Institute invite you to the African American Museum at 7th and Arch for an honoring of the ancestors event, February 19th from 3 to 5 p.m. Visit pcol.org for more information.
This week on Information is the Best Medicine.
Slavery, capitalism, and disparities.
Glenn and his guest, Dr. Diana Ramey Barry, historian and associate professor of history and African Diaspora Studies at the University of Texas at Austin, will discuss the work behind her book, The Price for Their Pound of Flesh. Don't miss Information is the Best Medicine, hosted by Glenn Ellis, Saturday mornings at 9 a.m., exclusively on 900 AM WURD.
And 900AMWURD.com.
Get your mojo working with Steph Renee.
Middays.
We are 900 AM WURD Philadelphia.
And 900AMWURD.com.
Pennsylvania's only black-owned talk radio station.
This is Stephanie Renee welcoming you back to our TGIF edition of The Mojo. Reelblack Radio is gearing up for you. We're broadcasting live on Facebook Live for those of you who'd like to check out the stream. So you can log on now and be a part of today's broadcast. And we are going to bring the cinematic element into our musical selection for today's Power Up Song of the Day, courtesy of Jilly from North Philly. This album was the interim between her official first studio release and second studio release. There were some songs that didn't make it onto that debut album and some live performances that she had been doing all throughout the area. Primarily this recording, the live version of this recording, was done here in Philadelphia at the Tower Theater and in D.C. at Constitution Hall. So, of course, that makes my heart sing, my two cities. And this song, however, is a collaboration with the production group For Hero from the album Experience. Jill Scott, 826 Plus. And from that Plus album, this is called Gotta Get Up Another Day, today's Power Up Song of the Day.
Go to work today. I'd rather stay home and play video games. I wanna chill, but I gotta get up. I gotta get up.
I was going to say, but see, Mike and I sitting in here bouncing and bopping in our seats because we recognized what that feels like. I joke all the time when I have artsy people on the show, period, that, you know, because I'm not on in the afternoon, whether it's West Coast or East Coast, I know creative people are not generally speaking morning people. And so it's always an issue. And so for all of you in the listening audience who are mumbling under your breath about having to be conscious and being, you know, functional in some kind of job capacity, we salute you.
Yeah, it's one of those things I had to learn the hard way, like not to tell people what time I get up sometimes, and
or the fact that you don't go to sleep.
Well, I'll be up and then I'll wake up and then hit the snooze, you know. So, but you know, when you work hard, you play hard, right?
I was gonna say Mike has this habit of emailing me at 4 a.m. And so I can let everybody, especially on the Facebook live stream, you see in my eyes, right? You know, I'm nowhere near consciousness and nowhere near wanting to type back to someone at 4:20 in the morning.
You got to be up at 4 a.m. so you can be the first to read the Trump tweet of the day. So. But,
I was gonna say you have fun with that.
But well, we have a big show.
Yes, we
big
do.
Big show. Black Girl Magic is in the air. The theme of this episode is Black Girl Magic, and it started last Saturday with Leslie Jones playing Donald Trump.
I didn't see it.
Okay, well, that's part of the Black Girl Magic. And then the next day, Beyonce slayed the Grammys.
As some of my male friends have described it as her onstage baby shower. I was like, haters. They hating the symbolism. Well, it was beautiful.
It was beautiful, you know, and you know, there's some code in there for those who are into spirituality that I think went over a lot of people's heads. But
if people saw Solange and her outfit, they were the sun and the moon. Collectively. Mama Tina introduced the whole piece, so I was like, there was all kinds of black girl
Grammy
magic
takeover,
and joy.
Grammy takeover,
yes.
and then I see that Amanda Diva has just released season 2.
Yes,
all 6 episodes of Get Your Life, and she's on the air right now.
Indeed. So welcome, Amanda Seals, otherwise known as Amanda Diva. Welcome to WURD.
I'm not known as Amanda Diva anymore, but like
okay. Well, that's how I met you. You were Amanda Diva up on that Black Star stage.
Oh my God!
I was gonna say, and speaking of the Grammys, her commercial for The Truth was also playing in the midst of all that other black girl magic
and blowing my YouTube every time. I can't get past a YouTube video without seeing that Truth thing.
So you're hot, sis, and we're glad to have you on the air with us today.
Thank you. I thought this was at 8 p.m.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you for joining.
That's why it sounds like there's a cat living in my throat. But we're here. We are here. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Thank y'all so much for having me.
Well, congratulations. So, Get Your Life season 2.
Yes.
I watched all of season 1. Now I started watching. It's like addictive. You know, like she dropped all the episodes at one time.
Yes,
like
binge watching is in.
Yeah, I had to stop. I said I got to have it here. So for those who don't know, tell us about Get Your Life.
Get Your Life is a series that I actually started doing last year, and I did it because I was moving to LA, and I guess it was just kind of like I was told that it's a good idea to do a web series. Just for the record, it is not a good idea to do a web series while you're moving.
Ooh, we know.
Not. But in hindsight, I'm actually glad that I did it that way because I arrived with something to do.
Yeah.
You know, and I think a lot of people get fearful of moving places that they don't have like a job when they arrive because it's just like, well, you know, I'm going to be twiddling my thumbs or, you know, I'm just going to not be focused. And I arrived here on this like mission that I was going to finish this web series, and it just gave me kind of an entry point into LA that showed like I ain't here to play. You know, like I'm showing up in motion.
Yes.
And that to me has been the momentum of that has never stopped since I moved to LA. And so Get Your Life is about this woman who's a comedian, and her name is Amanda Seals, so she's like this, she's a version of me.
Okay.
Not completely me, but she's a version of me. And she's living in New York and realizes, like, if she stays in New York, it's going to kill her. Which I will say, New York pushed me out. You know, like, New York left me no choice but to leave.
Wow.
It had gotten to a point where I was like, if I stay, I will be incarcerated. So she moved to LA, and just, you know, it's about her experience in adjusting to LA and what that means for a creative, what that means for a Black woman, and what that means for a New Yorker, which is a story that I know a lot of folks are relating to these days, because the exodus is real.
Yes.
And so then there was the test of, like, are you going to be able to do a second season? Which I know for some people it seems like, okay, big whoop. Well, yeah, when you're on a network and they're paying for everything.
Right.
But doing a second season of your own show, you know, that ain't really an easy thing. And this digital medium, I think for some people, they think it's just about, like, picking up the camera and shooting something. And for some people it is, but if you're really trying to do something that is going to withstand the test of time and represent yourself well in the zeitgeist, you kind of got to do it as real as possible, you know?
Yeah.
And that takes money and resources. That isn't always at hand. We were very fortunate and able to raise $26,000 on Indiegogo from donations.
Great.
To do a second season, which was incredible. I mean, just incredible. And it really showed us, like, damn, okay, we really do need to do a second season. And not only did we raise funds, but it's also like we were able to raise funds from folks who just had like $8 to give.
Yeah.
And then folks like Nick Cannon, Charlemagne, Romany Malco, Wayne Brady. So, you know, it was exciting to see my peers also feel like, hey, you know, let me throw y'all some money to make this happen because we like this project. And the second season of Get Your Life premiered on Blavity.com. Last year we were on Issa Rae's channel. This year we're on Blavity. And I was really happy to collab with them because they are the channel for Black millennials. And I feel like this is an experience that a lot of Black professionals, especially Black folks between like 26 and 31, can really relate to, because that is the transformation age. That is the transition age. And in season 2, one thing that is kind of the overarching theme is having your identity be tested and your integrity be tested. And, like, when you have opportunities in front of you, can you see through that to still be you?
Yes.
And I know for LA, a lot of folks.
No, that's what's up. So we're talking with Amanda Seales, whose new show, second season of Get Your Life, is available to watch on Blavity.com. And I mean, you answered half of the questions I had, but you did bring up the word creative. You know, so I mean, I've always seen you as like a multi-hyphenate. Like you sing, you put out records, you do comedy, you act, you do everything. And what I love about this show is that it's sort of a platform for you to do everything. You know, so I mean, speak to that versus the box or bubble that Hollywood or the entertainment industry would want to place you in.
I feel like it's actually interesting because these days Hollywood is more receptive to the multi-hyphenate.
Yeah.
But when I was coming up, that was not the case. It was very much like, you better choose what you want to do, and, you know, that's your lane. Though I will say it's about being a multi-hyphenate in a cohesive fashion. You know, like I went on a date recently, and the guy was like, yeah, you know, I'm an actor. And he is. He's like, but I do music. And I'm like, okay. Because you don't do music, you know? You're either doing music or it's a hobby. I know this because I have done music. And it is a field where you really have to be 100% all in. You can't kind of treat it as like this tandem thing, literally, unless you're Mac Wilds. I've never seen it truly done, where it's like completely in tandem with your acting.
Right.
And, I mean, think about it. There really are few actors who transition to music.
Yeah.
You see the reverse, but because, and I have theories about that, but so in my case, what I realized was that comedy was my calling. And I was always doing things in a funny space, but when I realized I needed to be a stand-up, and when I got on the stage and it clicked, it also clicked just in general for my work, because up until then it was like, I mean, I don't get it. You write, you host, you act, like, I don't get it. Once I was a stand-up, a comedian, and that was my overhead, it became, well, you write and you host and you act, right?
Yeah.
Because you're supposed to, you know? So
Yeah.
it just made things make sense for people. And I think that the key to being a multi-hyphenate is being able to do all the hyphenates well.
Yes. And I'm glad that you put that out there, because I think there are a lot of people in our listening audience that either struggle with the idea of how do you keep your head above water as a full-time creative, and parents and other mentors who listen and go, I've got this really creative kid and I'm trying to figure out how to give good guidance about how they move forward in this process. And so what you've just offered us there about being good, about having some quality control and figuring out what the big umbrella is of your life, I think will be extremely helpful for people who are checking us out right now. I also want to talk to you about the move from East Coast to left coast, as I like to call it, because I think that there are a lot of people who might see that as a necessary move, but it scares the bejesus out of them.
You know, I mean, I think that you should move when you feel stagnant, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So doesn't necessarily mean that you move to the left coast. Doesn't necessarily mean you leave cities. For me, though, it was like the law of relativity. You know, to every action, there'll be opposite and equal reaction. So I knew I needed to do something drastic for there to be drastic change. And L.A. was that. I mean, I was born in L.A. and I grew up in L.A. for a time. And I did have, you know, friends, family out here, but it still was going to be just like a very different lifestyle than New York.
Yeah.
You know, you're driving, you're doing auditions all day. You know, it's just, there's a lot of establishing that's got to get done. But for me, it was a necessity if I wanted to elevate, also because the industry that I aspired to elevate in lives in L.A. I mean, at the end of the day, like, decisions are made in L.A. that are handed down to New York.
Yeah.
And unless you're trying to work in Viacom and that's it, get out of New York. And Viacom ain't trying to pay nobody. So get out of New York.
I was going to say, there is clearly a deeper story behind that.
Well, you know, I was with VH1 for a long time.
Yes.
And when I came out to L.A., I did a pilot with them. And it was a great pilot that was done by a production company that I really enjoyed. And they had a great vision. And then 2 days before, the network told us it needed to be more urban. And, you know, as a black woman in Hollywood, as a black person in Hollywood, when you hear that language, you know that you've gone down a deep and dark road.
Yeah.
Because the people telling you that are people that don't consider blackness a culture. They consider it a commodity. So they're immediately telling you, what you're doing is not what we consider black, even though you are a black person. So we need you to do, like, the black thing of that. And their version of the black thing of that, well, we've seen what BH version of the black thing is. So, you know.
Ooh, that was a mouthful and a necessary conversation. I wonder, have you seen the Michael K. Williams video that he did for The Atlantic talking about being typecast?
No, I have not.
Oh, it's all over social media. So when you get a chance, you probably really enjoy it. He's basically having a conversation with 4 different versions of himself, like, you know, kind of strains of different characters he's done, talking about being typecast in Hollywood. I think you'd really, really relate.
Well, to that point, I mean, in contrast, I literally just last night finished the pilot for my series, my TV show. Smart, Funny, and Black on True TV. And in contrast, they have been completely just, Amanda, do what you do.
Nice.
You know, and that's been great.
Do we have a launch date for that then?
Well, no, it's a pilot.
Okay.
So we get picked up, no. But just being able to get this far to sell a show called Smart, Funny, and Black.
Yes.
That's already a victory.
Yes.
You know, where we literally say in the script that white people stole us and they didn't bat an eye. You know, where we literally have a wall called the Illustrious League of Master Blacksmiths that has portraits of individuals throughout the history of Black culture that have been, contributory to our wellness and our artistry, etc. And to be able to just create content that is exactly that, smart, funny, and Black, and challenging of, different social norms that are not helpful, and just of celebrity, and it's just a celebration of Black culture has been great. And if you check out my Instagram, which is my name, Amanda Seals, you'll get to see the process that we've been undertaking to do this, and the final elements last night as they came together. But we don't get to do that, You very rarely get to be yourself.
Well, no, fantastic. I mean, I love the fact that you're using social media to kick the door open to make us known. I mean, last year the hashtag was Oscar So White, and now it's like, oh no, not another one.
Not that white.
So it's a great year. We're celebrating it. We're celebrating you. And as a stand-up, I know you're working out stuff. There's plenty to talk about. Going on in the world. How's your stand-up taking shape?
It's such a nasty time. It is. It is such a dirty, nasty time. And it's funny, you would think that it's been taking shape. I mean, on one hand, I have been in show mode, pilot mode, so my brain hasn't been on stage, which the way I work as a multi-hyphenate is I can multitask like a mofo, but in creating, I do kind of work in different strains, and they don't always necessarily work seamless together. So, like, my stand-up mind for writing jokes is different than my writing mind for writing a script.
Yeah. So
they don't really work in tandem. But I'm about to transition into stand-up mind because I'm about to be in Connecticut for a weekend in March, opening for Roy Wood Jr. from Daily Show. And, so there's that. But there's also just, like, I've just been having this kind of block because I don't want to spend my time on stage just talking about drums.
Yeah.
Like, I don't. It feels invasive. It feels like he's invading my good time. But then at the other point, it's like, yeah, but it's your duty, like for what your work, specifically Amanda, is about, which is using comedy and using the arts to encourage, empower, and enlighten. It's like you got to find the approach. Yeah. So the journey for me right now is figuring out, like, how to get to where I need to get in the message without it feeling like I'm a slave or chained to this administration that basically seeks to overrun our lives at this present. And and that's the work. So I to be honest, I really.
But you're keeping us fed. I mean, 6 episodes. I gotta thank you, sis. Because I mean, I'm thoroughly entertained. I'll definitely watch them over again.
Can I be real?
Yeah.
I really didn't know about this season. I really was like, this might be whack. I don't know. Because I had grown so much in just that 1 year, just from doing Insecure, from even doing season 1 of Get Your Life, from just being in L.A. So by the time I got to season 2, started writing it, I wasn't absolutely sure, like, if it was good, because my taste had changed. And there's a really great video that Ira Glass from NPR has where he's talking about, like, your taste changing as an artist. And sometimes it can feel like, what am I doing? And a lot of times, and like that, your taste changing, and it needs to change because you're elevated. But it can feel like, maybe this is trash.
Well,
like the only way you kind of can know is having the bravery to, like, still push forward. I mean, our DP editor and editor Kwanzaa Gooden is like 100% given the gold medal for team player, because in this post process, let me tell y'all, I was like, I don't even want to watch this right now. I'm going to need to take 2 weeks off. I can't even watch this. And we really pushed each other through this process to get to this point. And in doing this show, there were times where there were people that I thought were on board that were going to be my team that failed me. And as a creative and just everyone out there creating stuff, I know you understand that feeling. Like, you think, like, this is squad. We about to be sitting next to each other at the Grammys, at the Emmys, you know, like, let's do this. And then when you realize, like, or no, it can be very lonely.
Yeah.
And you feel abandoned in the process. And this process is so taxing and so vulnerable that when that happens, it takes a lot out of you. And I think maybe that is why I had this, like, such an overpowering, like, worrisome negative tinge about this season. So you guys being so receptive has just been really healing and exciting and comforting for me as a creative and a writer. Well, I was really worried that I was going to embarrass myself.
Well, you're a true artist. It sounds just like Andre 3000 when he did Hey Ya. You know, he was like, I did that so long ago, but everybody loved it. So, I mean, you're past it, but we're getting to receive it now on Blavity.com.
Oh, I'm not past it. I'm in it.
You're in it. Okay, I'm sorry.
This is every interview or every conversation where people are like, I mean, this came out 2 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. So this is very present, and it's just very exciting. And I thank you guys for what do you like about it?
I always like your energy to get you to do so many different things. And then all the little surprise guests that show up as characters, you know, Little Rel and James Bland, all these, it just feels like there's a community that you've found and immersed yourself in, and then calling in your favors, your friends, you know, seeing, you know, Nick Cannon in the credits and knowing Issa Rae's part of it, you know, it just feels like family, you know.
And doing it your way.
And I've known you and known of you for so long. It's just great to see you shine, so.
Thank you. Well, I will say, just to add to that, James Bland is just a gem, and he has a series out on Issa Rae's channel called Giant right now. So check that out. But one of the biggest aspects of moving anywhere is your community. Mm-hmm. And I was very fortunate when I moved out here to immediately be embraced by a community.
Excellent.
And Issa had told me, she was like, you know, when we first met, she was like, when are you moving to LA? I was like, wait, huh? What? She was like, when are you moving to LA? She was like, there's a community here. I'm telling you, there's a creative community here that will receive you. And she wasn't lying.
That's what's up.
That's a beautiful thing. Well, we certainly appreciate you getting up early to share with us, and we're getting feedback on our Facebook Live right now, how people are really appreciating the dialogue. So we wish you much continued success with both the pilot getting picked up, getting expanded, and all the things that you're doing to be a multi-hyphenate. Mike has given us a word today that all of us can incorporate in our conversations more and celebrate. Amanda Seales, thank you so much.
Thank you all. I appreciate it. Keep doing your thing and giving this good information out to the people.
We will do our best and continue to support you. Thank you. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we got to take a quick commercial break. For all of you like me who are head over heels in love with the Black girl joy that Mike is bringing us on today's Real Black Radio, after this break, we come back and talk to the woman responsible for one of my favorite television shows ever, Queen Sugar, Tina Mabry, joining us here on Real Black Radio in just a moment. Stay tuned. Having Our Say, the Delaney Sisters, first 100 years.
Thought the show was really, really good.
Highly recommended.
A powerful play written by Emily Mann and directed by Mary B. Robinson about the century-long journey of a pair of sisters.
Great actresses. It's terrific.
Limited run through February 19th at the Philadelphia Theater Company at the Suzanne Roberts Theater. For tickets and information, visit philatheaterco.org.
Atlantic Wealth Group provides assistance with retirement planning, insurance, financial planning, investment services, and estate planning. Please call them at 610-771-1700 for a free one-on-one consultation. Thank you. WURD salutes Black history, brought to you by the Pennsylvania Lottery. The Olympian,
When Nia Ali won an Olympic medal at the 2016 Games in Rio, this hurdler became part of an often overlooked legacy of success in Olympic competition by Black athletes from Philadelphia. African-American Philadelphia athletes have achieved success in a variety of Olympic sports. Boxers Terrell Biggs and Meldrick Taylor won gold medals in the 1984 Olympics. Basketball legends Don Staley and Kobe Bryant have won multiple gold medals. Anita DeFrance won a bronze medal for rowing in the 1976 Montreal Games. DeFrance is a member of the International Olympic Committee, where she once served as vice president, the first female to hold that title. Track is an arena where African-American Philadelphians have a long and distinguished history of Olympic achievement. Legendary runners include gold medalists like Leroy Burrell, John Drummond, and Herman Frazier. The very first African-American to win an Olympic gold medal was a star runner from the University of Pennsylvania. John Baxter Taylor won Olympic gold in the 1908 London Games as a member of America's 1600-meter relay team.
The Overlooked Excellence Series, presenting little-known achievements of Black Philadelphians, is researched and written by Len Washington Jr. Win big with Pot of Gold, the new instant game from the Pennsylvania Lottery. You could scratch your way to top prizes of $50 grand. Players must be 18 or older. Please play responsibly. Benefits older Pennsylvanians every day.
Introducing Reality Check with Charles Ellison every Monday through Thursday, 4 to 7 p.m. on 900 a.m. WURD. Each day I'll bring you thought leadership, analysis, and data on the politics, policy, and people impacting our communities here and abroad. I'm your host, Charles D. Ellison, veteran political strategist and Philly native. I look forward to filling the big shoes of the legendary Nick T and discussing issues rippling through the nation's capital, state houses, and city halls. If you need a reality check, tune in starting Monday, February 20th at 4 p.m. on 900 a.m. WURD, independent Black media.
Families affected by disasters urgently need support. Help the American Red Cross provide meals and shelter to those affected by disasters, big and small. Donate to Red Cross Disaster Relief. Go to redcross.org or call 1-800-RED-CROSS.
You are listening to The Mojo with Stephanie Renee on 900 AM WURD.
You all already know how much I love brass band music and how much I share it here on the program, but had to bring this one back because when we talk about this idea of how we make a character out of place, then we and especially when we're going to talk to the person responsible for giving us the story of Queen Sugar, then I had to go to the Rebirth Brass Band and how appropriate their name is, and this album, the first one that they recorded after Hurricane Katrina, called Rebirth of New Orleans. The song was titled AP Toro, for those of you who are looking to add some funkiness to your collection, but using the whole idea of the beauty and specificity of place and what it adds to story and context for the way that we tell our stories is necessary. And Mike, please give us our official welcome back and hi to everybody on Facebook Live.
Yeah, hey, shout out to everybody, Bill Tucker and Shirley and Nina and Thomasina and Breeze just joined. So join us on Facebook Live. But yeah, super duper excited. Again, Black Girl Magic directed a couple episodes, wins DJ Awards, and is continuing to win Image Awards and all that non-stuff. So just to celebrate her time to shine as well. With us on the line, Tina Mabry. Good morning.
Welcome to Reelblack Radio.
Hey, good morning. How you guys doing?
Good.
Great. Well, congratulations first and foremost.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
No.
It's actually something I should be actually thanking everybody who let me actually work on their project.
Yeah, well, tell us about that, because
give them some awards real quick.
No, well, tell us about. I mean, certainly, it's black all over, especially on our show. But I mean, anybody that saw Mississippi Dam years ago,
yes,
just knew, just give Tina the opportunity. She's going to knock it out of the park. And not only Mississippi Dam, signaled your arrival, but also Bradford Young, who's nominated for some awards as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, what's that journey been like, and how does this year feel specifically?
I mean, this year, it really kind of started in 2015 at the end when Ava DuVernay gave me a call about Queen Sugar. And when she told me she wanted me to come on as a producer and to direct a couple episodes, my life completely shifted. And, kind of believe it or not, even though Mississippi Dam is a film that was so, passionate for us, I had actually contemplated right there like a month or a couple weeks prior. I was like, should I just give this up? It's not quite working. Like, should I leave the industry? And, of course, after you have some good, dedicated friends who are like, if you leave, I'm about to hurt you. Oh, no, girl, I would tell you now, if you were bad, I would let you know. So it's good to have honest friends like that. And so, it was just but I was very depressed about it. And then all of a sudden your phone rings, Ava calls and offers me an opportunity of a lifetime. And a week later, the idol that made me go into film in the first place calls me to offer me a job, Gina Prince Bythewood on Shots Fired. But I'd already said yes to Queen Sugar, so I couldn't do both. So, I mean, but it just shows, just goes to show you don't know how far you are from reaching where you need to go. And so I've been celebrating for, I'm trying to celebrate all the way to 20 infinity if I can.
Yes.
But I've been very thankful, very fortunate. And as you said, that we have a lot of talented people in this industry. They just don't get the opportunity. And that's what Ava's done for all of us on Queen Sugar. And without the opportunity, none of us would have gotten a chance to shine, or the show wouldn't have been able to reach the heights that it has.
And let's stay there for a second, just with this power of the Black Female Network in and around Hollywood, because I think it's a lot. It's been very celebrated, and what Ava has been able to do with this show and with Affirm and Array now overall has been so empowering to the idea that it should not be a rarity when we get a chance to feel women of color having all kinds of say and all kinds of creative input into telling our stories.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, and I'm so glad that community is something that is growing, that we know we have to tell these stories and that you actually have an outlet to tell it. Because, I mean, we make all of these films. You want to make TV shows. Hopefully someone will pay for it. It's a little bit more expensive in the long run. But, you need a home for it.
Yeah.
And without having a home for it, then you can't reach the audience, which is always your intended purpose, is to make sure that you have something to say as an artist and you're able to share it. And so definitely Warner Horizon came on the studio side and OWN on the network side and made that possible for Queen Sugar.
No, fantastic. Well, I mean, I think people should know a little more of your backstory because, like, again, your time to shine, but long before that. I mean, NYU alum. USC, I'm sorry.
That's okay. That was my wife.
No, I was going to say, Mike's always trying to bring people out of New York because he's out of New York. That's all.
Morgan was NYU. So, I remember running into Morgan and Lee, I think Lee, your father-in-law at Urban World. And, a lot of people, really family investment to make Mississippi Dam, which stands as a great piece of art, a long time getting it out to the world. Now it's available on Netflix through Array. But, rolling the dice on your own talent versus trying to find a lane within the system. Can you speak to that? And
yeah, everybody, of course, told us that we were kind of a little bit cuckoo trying to have a first feature that had like 36 characters, 2 time periods, and it's a first-time director. And for us, we just knew we had a story we needed to tell, and my wife, also the producer and editor on Mississippi Dan Morgan Stiff, was doing a program in Film Independent, their producers lab. And we had a certain amount of money already secured, and like you said, it was a family investment that we had invested in ourselves, and we wanted more money. Naturally, we thought we needed it, but we were told, go shoot it, what you got. You have this in hand, go make your movie for this. And so for us to realize that, we could make the film and have the production value look a lot higher, but make it for $500,000, that it was something that, we were like, okay, well, we got to, reinvigorated by that we know it's actually going to be something going in production, but to know that also that it's a family venture, that it's a family journey that we're all taking. For me, there's no such thing as in-law in the Stiff household. And for them to actually have brought me in at such an early point in our relationship, and to believe in my talent, and to, put in and to invest their time, their energy, their love, their money into Mississippi Dam, is something that I can't even put into words, and the gratefulness that I feel.
Right. Yeah. So it's like every journey begins with the first step. So that to me, it's not necessarily 2015. It's the fact that you banked on yourself. You had a community there that believed in you, that created that first opportunity, and then it just took circumstances for the seeds to grow, I think.
Yeah, it definitely did. You need that foundation, and you need that support. You need that because, as an artist, it's so easy, and just as a person, and we get so bogged down by the world and what's going on around us that sometimes we feel deflated. And you need to have somebody in your corner sometimes to, one, show you the reality, and then also, two, sometimes pump you up, or sometimes, in some cases, some people, you need to bring them down a peg or two. But for me, thankfully, it wasn't bringing it down a peg. They were just trying to lift me up and bring me up on the rung on the ladder.
Yes.
To keep me going on. And so, to see just how our film community is echoing even what we have been doing as a family already, and see that's what's happening now for us. I couldn't be more pleased. And it doesn't matter, whose show. There is no competition, which is what I love, and I relish in that. Is that none of us are competing, because we all know that it's like if one of us gets through on this particular thing, that is great. Let's celebrate it. Let's put our dollars behind it. Let's make sure it's seen, and we have a community. And without having that community, we fail.
Absolutely. Well, we've got to take a quick commercial break, but we want you to hang tight because we need to hear all about Melody 1963. And so that's good?
Yep, that sounds great.
Excellent. All right, quick commercial break, ladies and gentlemen, and those of you tuning in on Facebook Live, and then we'll come back and hear about the new series that you need to make plans to binge watch if you are able to when we return here on Reelblack Radio, part of the Mojo on 900 AM WURD.
Join the movement.
IDAY, Institute for the Development of African American Youth, the leader in youth development, invites you to join them at their 2017 annual African American Knowledge Competition, Thursday, February 23rd from 5 p.m. till 7 p.m. at Wagner Middle School, located at 1701 West Shelton Avenue. This knowledge competition celebrates Black History Month. Show up and support the youth as they showcase and compete with each other for cash and prizes. This is a free event to the public. All you have to do is show up. For more information, call IDAY at 215-235-9110 or visit them at iday.org.
Knowledge is power.
Join the movement.
Place Like Home 2, located 2276 Georges Lane, provides a clean and active environment for people who have dementia, Alzheimer's, and physical disabilities. A Place Like Home 2 offers older adults a wide variety of services in a protective group setting, including referrals, daily cognitive therapy, podiatry, exercise, and so much more. Free transportation is possible. If you're looking for a place like home for your loved one, call 215-878-1200. Looking for a vehicle? Don't have a lot of cash? Fox Street Auto Sales is cash and carry. 2633 West Hunting Park Avenue. Over 50 vehicles under $19.95. Tags, titles, insurance, warranties, and inspections are available. Cars are clean, highway-driven cars. 2633 West Hunting Park Avenue. At the intersection of Fox Street and Hunting Park. 215-223-3034. Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. till 5 p.m. Saturday, 9:30 a.m. till 2:30 p.m. 215-223-3034.
Hey everyone, it's me, Ali Simpson. I'm letting you guys know that on March 7th, it's IHOP's National Pancake Day. So you guys can head to any of your nearest IHOPs and get a free short stack of pancakes, plus being able to donate to Children's Miracle Network hospitals, which I highly recommend you do because it really makes a difference to all the kids. So have fun and enjoy your pancakes and donate.
The Philadelphia Community of Leaders Cultural Committee present their second annual Honor the Ancestors, recognizing the life and legacy of the Reverend Leon H. Sullivan, a Baptist minister, civil rights leader, and social and anti-apartheid activist who focused on the creation of job training opportunities for African Americans. The event will take place on Sunday, February 19th, 3 to 6 p.m. at the African American Museum in Philadelphia, 701 Arch Street. Visit PhiladelphiaCommunityOfLeaders.org today to reserve your seat.
In celebration of Black History Month, UNCF salutes HBCUs. Each year, UNCF awards more than 10,000 scholarships and helps 60,000 students build better futures. Go to uncf.org/Philadelphia to donate. Remember, a mind is a terrible thing to waste.
What's up, y'all? This your man's Dwelle representing Detroit City, but I'm right here in Philly. When I'm in Philly, I'm checking out WURD.
From a compilation album titled Impulsive Revolutionary Jazz Reworked, that is the Gerardo Fresina remix of Dizzy Gillespie's Swing Low, Sweet Cadillac. You gotta love it. I wish I could play it all for you, but we are running short on time, and so we are going to get back to our conversation with Tina Mabry here on Reelblack Radio.
Hey.
And Mike, I turn this over to you.
Hey, Tina. Yeah, we're going by fast. So I'll just leave it to people to go check out Melody 1963. Which she just won the DJ award for. But I watched it. Great children's show. You know, the girl from one of my favorite shows, Blackish, is on there, and just fantastic job. You know, what can you say about the opportunity? Hello.
Okay, I'm still connected.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
No, I mean it must have been fun to do this 1963 Detroit girl growing up like a little superheroine.
Exactly. I mean, you know, and Marseille Martin from Blackish, I mean, like, you couldn't ask for a better lead. I was really surprised that it was actually her first time in a film being she's like, I'm finally the lead. I've never been the lead before. And I was like, well, you're handling it like you've been doing this for years. So, you know, like, let me probably take off and let's switch chairs. But to be able to be a part of a project like that, I mean, Amazon Kids really got behind Alison McDonald's script, Melody 1963. And what we really liked about the film and what really drove me to do it was that it wasn't a kid film, it was a family film. Mm-hmm. It was something that I felt like a grandmother, a mother, the son, a daughter, they all could sit down as a family and watch this. And you have these three generations that can actually see what happened in the past, what's happening, you know, as far as what we grew up in the 90s, as far as in that case, but and then also what's happening now. And, you know, we look at 1963, but 54 years later, we're not that far apart from where we need to be. You know, we've built a step and that's in the right direction, and that's great. But now we need to build a whole staircase.
No, without a doubt. And, you know, so you were the director on this show. How does that differ from your role as producer on Queen Sugar?
I was a producer on Melody as well, but not in the same capacity. But I tried to always wear my hats very separately. And so the difference was for Queen Sugar, you know, being there every single day in the writing room, you know, you go to sleep thinking about it. I'm screaming about Ralph Angel in my sleep in a different way than most women are about Kofi. I know I'm the one that's like, oh, my God, I'm still thinking about this character. And you get a chance to really live with them for months on end. And as opposed to when you're doing TV that you might not, you know, I mean, doing Amazon projects, that's they're doing, you know, a short broadcast. You don't have that kind of time with it to kind of marinate with it like that. And so, but the thing is, if you have a good script, it makes it very easy to lean into it. It makes it very quickly to fall in love with it. And that's what that is what happened for me on Melody. And, you know, like I said, the differences mostly between is just the time you get a chance to really spend, talk, develop, and meld, and create a character, and to, you know, you have a writing room full of people, and at times you're doing what you love is such, like, playful. It's arguing for your character. Like, how many times I can say, like, one character would be like, nuh-uh, Violet would not do this. And I'm like, nah, see, Raphael wrong. I know you got wrong right there. You know, Charlotte throwing shade. You know, I mean, it's just, you know, it's all of those things of us in that room just bringing it together and, you know, just talking about these characters like they were real people, because that's indeed who and what they were to us. And I think that reflects on the screen.
I'd like to add to that too, because I'm sure you have some thoughts about who's in the room, right? We joke about the song from Hamilton talking about being in the room where it happens, and it's important. You wouldn't have those arguments in the same kind of context if you didn't have a team of writers that understand the context that you're trying to bring to the characters and to the story as well.
Exactly, and I mean, and that's one of the major points. I mean, you've got a total of 4 women sitting in that writing room. You know, we had our 2 guys who were the underdogs. I'm like, y'all just got to fend for yourselves, brother. But you know, but a mostly black room, and the people of color are people who were very much awake and just woke to the issues that are going on in our community and into this world, and want to make a difference in it. And, yeah, that impacts the work. And I think that's what sometimes we don't get a chance to see in Hollywood, that people don't really understand on these TV shows as a look in these writing rooms. Like, you might see, it may look a little monochromatic.
Yeah.
Or there might be a little speckle that comes in. Right. I mean, honestly, I'm not black walnut ice cream or something. I mean, I don't want to just have, like, you know, little cookies and cream on the side. No. You know, you need to have that. You need to have that inclusiveness, because without that, I really do believe the work suffers. And I think you see that with shows that you really aren't attached to, or you feel like something is missing. It's the authenticity.
Yeah.
Right. Well, speaking of woke, I mean, another show that you're involved with got a little hype up on Twitter or whatever when the trailer for Dear White People on Netflix dropped.
Yes.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about this upcoming TV series from Justin Simeon?
I can't tell too much because I don't want Justin to get mad at me. So, but he's another brother that also just opportunities galore, who gives that back. But as far as to tell you, we pretty much, you know, if you've seen the film, you understand kind of the backdrop of Dear White People and the university, Winchester University, where they go. But for what they were doing for this episodic, you know, for the season, at least season 1, was taking a look at each character. So you kind of go through their perspective. So I, in particular, had Troy in one of my episodes as we were looking at his background and his story, and how he's navigating it and responding to everything. And then at the next episode, I had Coco. So I got a chance to really get a chance to know her as a character. You know, because that was something in the film that I don't know if it's just being as another black woman, you know, I gravitate towards every character, but I really wanted to know more about her. I was like, well, how did she get like this? What happened? And and that's what the show is going to show you, all of these things, and create a conversation. And it's already creating a conversation right
yes.
now.
Mm-hmm.
Some of that conversation is one of ignorance, in which we need to educate people on what's going on. And, I mean, it's okay on the Colbert Report. I think they got Hey White People, that they can have that. And then Justin comes out with Dear White People, and all of a sudden it's like it's like it's a mutiny. I'm like, what are you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. They're looking at a title and not the content, and not even realizing what the show is about, and just attacking based on that. And I think that is a result too of our political climate.
Yeah.
It's and that just shows, and that's all the more reason for Justin's show to come out now. All the more reason for it to be released this year. And I think once people sit down, who are the cynics, who are the people who troll his sites, if they actually sit down and watch what he's saying with this particular series, they may find themselves surprised at what really goes on in America from a black person's perspective, as well as from their own perspective. And how do we look at that, and how do we completely debunk the theory of a post-racial America?
Right. Well, that starts April 28th, so I can't wait for that. And what else is on the pike, and where can people find you?
I'm currently a producer on Queen of the South on USA Network.
Yes.
And I'll be directing an episode for them as well. So that's the one. I'm like literally have a script open next to my computer right now. I'm literally doing a rewrite. But yeah, Queen of the South, to kind of give people a little bit more information on that. It's what I love about it is just a very powerful story of this woman, Teresa Mendoza. And she's forced to go on the run and seek refuge in America after her drug-dealing boyfriend, he's killed unexpectedly and murdered in Mexico. And so in the process, she ends up teaming with an unlikely figure, like a queen pin, Camila Vargas, who's from her past, and that leads her into this drug trafficking ring that she eventually will become the queen herself. And we watch that journey throughout the course of the series, of how do you become the person who's running for survival to the person who's actually in control of the survival of others. And so, and we watch that, and we never see that from a female perspective about drug. They're always drug kingpins.
Yeah.
You never see a queen pin. But the show, I like going to Queens.
Queen of the South.
See, now you're going to have Common Song Testify playing in my head, because now you've said queen pin.
Queen pin. You know what? You're saying it. And so, so that's the show that I'm currently on, but, just definitely keeping my eye on every show that's going on and what's in development, and just being excited. I'm excited for Issa and Insecure. I mean,
yes.
We spent an hour with some friends arguing over hashtag Team Tasha versus hashtag Issa with Lauren.
No,
but that's what art's supposed to do. It's supposed to do that. Now, whoever thought that we would all sit down and we were having dinner and would turn into an hour conversation about that? Right. Whose side are you on?
No.
And if that's the thing about it, oftentimes we'll go and watch something, or we have things presented to us, we completely forget about it. We forget the content. It doesn't live with us. And we had that conversation a month after the series had ended.
Right.
So we could have long forgot about it, but it was still really fresh for us.
Yeah.
It was something that it was such a great series, and I'm glad it's coming back. And so, I mean, it's just, this is a good time for us as
Definitely.
people.
Yeah, and
artistically.
Queen Sugar Season 2 has been picked up. I hope you'll be a part of that. And well, fingers crossed. But
I was going to say, and I'm just marveling at the fact that, after Mississippi Damned, you were questioning whether or not this was the path for you. And look at everything that has been born out of you really following your dream and having the support of a family and a circle of loved ones who said, this is what you are supposed to do what you were born to do. And it's just turned into all this success. And we're so glad that you were able to join us on air today and share some of the path and process with our listening audience.
And thank you guys so much for having me, and just please continue to keep doing what you do, because it's much needed and much wanted, and hopefully it's very well celebrated on my behalf.
Right on.
Indeed.
Thank you, Tina.
Take care.
All right, so I know we're over, but real quick, 3 things happening right away. Tonight, Dominique at the Punchline. If you go to reelblack.com, discount tickets. Join us as a group, $15, 8 o'clock show. Dominique, she's in town all week. If you don't have any money and you want to go out Go to Temple Performing Arts Center, Greater Philadelphia Film Office, and Black Star doing an event, Framing Blackness, and that's going to be dope. And then the last thing, if you just want to laugh, I on the bubble recommend Fist Fight with Ice Cube. If you like Ice
On the
Cube,
bubble, he said.
It's not a good movie, but it's funny watching Ice Cube beat up white people for an hour and a half, or threaten white people for an hour and a half. So, it was entertaining.
I'm not going to be able to co-sign that, Corey. I'm looking at your comment. I just want to let you know, if you want to pass along Tina's information to your niece with regard to internships, her Twitter handle is her name, Tina Mabry, TinaMabry. Just ask your niece to reach out to her. Who knows what might be able to come of, the association saying that you heard her or she heard about the interview on WURD and would like to inquire about other possible opportunities. We would love to hear that coming together.
Yes, definitely the door's open, and Tina's definitely one to keep it open, I'm sure. So, well, thanks. That went by super fast.
Yeah.
So we got lots to do.
Great Black Girl Magic edition of the show.
Melody 1963 on Amazon. Get Your Life on Blavity, and Fist Fight in theaters. But there are no women in that, so I guess that doesn't quite fit
Doesn't fit
Black
with the
Girl
theme.
Magic.
But thank you, Mike D. Thank you to everybody tuning in on Facebook Live. We appreciate you. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to talk about adult libation. It is National Drink Wine Day tomorrow. You need to know how to be able to celebrate it, okay? So stay tuned. Much more of the TGIF edition of the Mojo coming at you after this.
Rolling action, making